Republicans coming out today and saying Democrats have to tone down the rhetoric. Why did you almost spit out your water?
You don't get to lecture Democrats about rhetoric when you are the one advancing dangerous and disproven claims in Springfield that is resulting in people not being able to go to school because of bomb threats. Like, you are the architect of misinformation and rhetoric that is dangerous, that is provoking potential violence.
You don't think both sides need to tone it down?
No, this is not a both sides issue. They are not. There is no Democrat out there calling for anyone to use violence against Donald Trump or any Republican.
He traffics in violence.
Both sides need to tone down. I'm going to say that as a Republican.
That's utter nonsense.
So J.D. Vance did say it's incumbent upon both sides. He also brought up the media. And look, we all know Donald Trump's history. The Trump campaign and Republicans, you are hearing, are saying enough with this. He's a threat to democracy stuff.
What's violent about that?
Okay.
Donald Trump has been indicted for inciting an insurrection on January 6th. Donald Trump's been convicted. I'm sorry.
He was not indicted for
inciting an insurrection, not for the insurrection.
And it wasn't specifically for an insurrection.
Well, listen, you can split hairs if you want.
It's not splitting hairs.
Listen. He's standing trial for that riot and that insurrection, and it was a conspiracy. He's been found to be liable for sexual abuse. He tells his people, you know, beat them up, I'll pay your legal fees. He tells the police, don't treat them right when you put them in the police car. He is the only one that traffics in violence. Tell me one Democratic statement, one. Hold on, that any statement that in any way connotes violence, being a threat to democracy, you got it on camera.
Yeah.
He's on camera with a threat to democracy.
Who served for Donald Trump are on camera saying he's a threat.
Hold on, let me get to
Republicans saying he's a threat.
Hold on, time out. Let me get to Denise.
He said that a little bit too much. I think all of us here need to be responsible for what we say, because as we talk about everyone else having some sort of rhetoric that's inflammatory, it's incumbent upon us to stop.
Okay, so that's part of the conversation. Hold on. So that's part of the conversation. Hold on. Time out. So that's part of the conversation. I'll tell you something that I noticed today, because Kamala Harris was at the National Association of Black Journalists. It was an interview in Philadelphia. Donald Trump gave an interview to them about a month or so ago, give or take. Kamala Harris's turn today. Here were the first questions to both of them, and we'll take it up on the other side.
I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true.
We want to start on an issue that Americans across the country say is their #1 concern, and that's the economy. A question that has been asked of you and everybody that's on the Democratic side is whether or not voters are better off now than they were 4 years ago.
Two totally different ways to intro the sitting candidates, is it not?
Two different candidates. And what mirrored question of Kamala Harris would you give her when Donald Trump is the one that had the birther issues with Barack Obama and the other issue raised by the interviewer? Tell me a mirror question.
So I have interviewed a presidential candidate. I did it with Donald Trump at the White House, steps away from the Rose Garden in the Colonnade there. I can tell you, you don't come at a presidential candidate the way I would go about it, not the way that first clip showed. It was clearly two different tones today.
Well, I agree with you 100%, and this is where I will refuse to go on TV shows that argue, and we don't usually do this, because I don't think it's right. I mean, what are we saying to the American people if we have some sort of negative comments about everyone that we're saying? I mean, about the president, former president. I will never criticize Joe Biden, Barack Obama as a sitting president, as I don't think anyone else should, because it's the president of the United States, and I think it's horrible.
I think that
horrible
we have
for this
a
country.
responsibility, because being up here, it is a position of privilege. Like, we are afforded a platform that most people in this country aren't, and we get to talk about the issues that go on day in and day out. But I think we also have a responsibility to provide context. So my point was, when J.D. Vance is up there lecturing people, whatever party, whatever figures, about rhetoric, and just days before, in a debate watched by more than 60 million Americans, your guy promoted a false conspiracy about people that is resulting in threats being called in and kids not being able to go to school because of that, you do not get to stand up there and then lecture everybody else.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.